What's up, guys? So I get a lot of questions. Hey Carl, how do you play quads and get really good at it while not hitting rim and getting around the drums really easily? Guys, honestly, it's really simple. Like really simple. How is it simple? Well, you gotta look at it in a very simplistic way. So if you're just starting out on quads, you have to literally just start out on one drum. So like, let's take 8 on a hand. Just play it on one drum. Play on drum 2. What's the purpose of that, right? The purpose is to kind of get used to the positioning of the drums, right? So all on drum 1, all on drum 2. So that's why you start out with a round like this. Okay, and then also very important is the positioning of the sticks, right? So over 1 and 2, there's a slight angle, as if you were all playing on one drum, right? You have that, that slightly less than 90-degree angle. But then once you get to 3 and 4, now you can either do like an angle out, okay, or you can kind of have it straight. So it's like in and then straight, okay, in, straight. So get used to that positioning. That's very important too, all right? So now that you master just 8 notes on one drum, try going like 4 on each drum. Now how about 1 on each drum? How about 3? How about across? So you see that progression, right? So it's just kind of like starting out with one drum, really focus on the positioning, and then do less notes on each drum, and then you cut it down even less and less until soon you're moving each note literally on a different drum. That's how you get used to it. So it's very simple. It's a very simple approach. Okay, take it one step at a time. I mean, that's why a lot of quad players, they learn how to play an exercise first on one drum, usually on drum 2. Just really get used to make sure you play everything on one drum. It all sounds good, it feels good, and then you start moving it around. If you're new to it, just move it very simply around, right? So don't do anything too crazy. Just move on like over 2 drums, then try 3, then 4, and just build from there. Does that make sense, right? So if you guys want to know more about how to play quads, if you guys are quad curious and things like that, if you want to learn how to teach quad players, if you are a snare drummer or a bass drummer and you're like a captionette or you're a tech, seriously, check out my product, Quad Philosophy, right? It's in the description below, so check that out. I mean, I can't think of anything better right now to kind of help you get started with quads, right? So check it out. What's up, everybody? It's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today I want to talk about how it's an advantage for you when you go audition for an indoor percussion ensemble or a drum corps if your program, your high school program, doesn't have an indoor marching percussion ensemble or a marching band program. Now, you're probably asking, Carl, how is that possibly an advantage? Because I don't get the experience that I need in order to better prepare myself to go into an ensemble like this. And that is absolutely a fair question. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that you need to have before you audition for an independent ensemble, is that you have experience. And what better place can you get experience other than your own school program, or better yet, you go march a lower division, like independent program, and you get experience there before you go up to a bigger or even more higher class ensemble. Experience is a huge part of it. I mean, the more experience you get, the better chances that you have in order to make the groups that you want. Absolutely. However, I want to talk about how it can be an advantage for you if your program doesn't have like a drum corps style program, or doesn't have a drum corps staff, or is not influenced by any of that at all. Or let's say you don't have an independent indoor group, and it's like, how could that be an advantage? Well, this is for people who don't have a program and have asked me, hey Carl, like I don't have this experience, like I don't have this program at my school. How can I possibly get the experience? How can I possibly get an edge? And I believe it really is an edge for you if you do the following things. Number 1, all right, you have to work harder than everybody else. That means you are studying, you are getting all the educational materials you can possibly get, you are watching all the videos that you can possibly watch, all right? Number 2, you are also resourceful. That means that you are meeting up with and networking with people who have marched and does have experience in the ensembles you want to get into, you pick their brains, you possibly even get lessons or get help from them and have them teach you, all right, so that you can get the necessary knowledge that you need in order to get to these ensembles. And then finally, you have to actually go to the camps and the auditions of the groups that you want to make, so you know exactly where you're at and you know exactly what you need to do to make these groups. I mean, if you don't do this at all, like, how would you know, especially if you don't have the experience, if you don't have an independent group at your school to learn from, right? That's one of the best ways for you to learn, is to go to these camps, learn from the instructors, ask the instructors questions, right? Talk to people, network with people. I mean, you see how this is all connected to everything I said, right? So basically what I'm trying to say is, you have to hustle, all right, if you don't have that advantage. I mean, look at it this way, right? Let's say you are, one of the biggest things about marching an independent ensemble is that you need to have money. You need to have the funds, right? Well, so many people don't have the funds. They don't have the money. They lack that kind of resource, right? So do you think it's an advantage for some, like a life advantage for somebody who is given the money to march these ensembles, right? And a lot of times, you know, this does happen, and that's a good thing. If you have that advantage, that is good, all right? If somebody can just, if your parents can just give you money, it's all good, it's all paid for, you're done, right? And then it's like, it's so easy, okay? Like, if you have that advantage, definitely take advantage of that. Don't feel bad about that. But do you think that possibly it can be an advantage also if you don't have the funds and you have to figure out how to raise those funds so you can march the ensemble that you want to make? Does that make sense, right? So now you have to hustle, now you have to earn money, now you have to mow so many lawns, now you have to wash cars, you have to sell stuff, you have to hustle again, once again, right? To earn the money that you need in order to make these ensembles. Maybe even like get a second job, right? So now you have to like balance your time, budget your time so you can do the job and focus on your school, and also having a practice time so that you can be good enough to make these groups. So you have to work a lot harder than the average person. And don't you think that is an advantage for you if you learn how to do that? Like, if you learn how to hustle for money, don't you think this can help you out in life to hustle in order to survive, in order to have the finances you need so that you can support yourself, so that you can live? Does that make sense, right? So you have to look at everything as a positive. So even in a negative situation, like let's say you don't have any money, you don't have any funds, or you are in a program that doesn't have any drum corps influence, or doesn't have like a indoor percussion program, that can be an advantage if you use that as leverage to make yourself work even harder than the person who has everything, the person who has money, the person who has, you know, the elite programs that they can learn from. Does that make sense, right? Now, obviously, it can be a huge disadvantage if you don't hustle, if you don't work hard, if you just say, well, you know, just, oh crap, like, there's nothing I can do about it, and it's really, like, this is all I got, and I can't do anything more than that. Then of course, it's a huge disadvantage if you just kind of like feel defeated and just think, well, okay, well, there's nothing more I can do. But if you think that whatever, you know, struggles or whatever hardships are thrown your way, you can look at it as an advantage, you can look at it as a positive, it's gonna help you out greatly in whatever it is that you pursue, including the marching arts and including everything that you do in life. So embrace the struggle, embrace everything that is not going your way, take it as something that is positive, use that to your advantage, to your own betterment, so that you can thrive, not just, you know, like, not just cope, not just like float on by, but you will actually thrive in this life and in whatever activity you choose to do. Does that make sense? All right, guys, so hopefully this video has been really helpful to you guys. You know, I try to, you know, put these videos out there to try to help as many people as I can, you know, through my experience, through what I've learned, through like just these words that I pass on to you guys. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. I know a lot of people ask me, you know, like, you know, in these situations, like, you know, I don't have a program or whatever, and what do I do? So I put this out there so I can help those individuals, and hopefully if you're not in a situation where, you know, let's say you have a elite group at your school, good, that's good for you, that's an advantage. But hopefully this can also put some thoughts into your head that, you know, maybe you're not working as hard if certain things are kind of just given to you so easily. Does that make sense, right? So you can look at it in many different ways. So hopefully you can look at it in that way, and it can help you out as well, no matter what your situation, all right? So also, if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave that in the comments below. If you have not subscribed yet to my videos after watching all my videos, what the heck are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe, hit that subscribe button right now. I really would appreciate that. And if you think this video can help somebody else out, as always, please make sure you share this video with them, all right? Cool, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to watch more videos, I always have trouble enunciating at times. Go ahead and click here, all right? And if you haven't subscribed yet, click here, all right? Peace out, catch you later.